Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you today. I'm doing a review of a WWE WrestleMania Rewind show from the WWE Network. These were shows that were debuted with WrestleMania 30, and as well as the launch of the WWE Network. It was one of the first shows to come out with it. What I would do back in the day was I would watch the WrestleMania Rewind show, then I would watch the corresponding WrestleMania, and then I would do a WrestleMania review and sort of have a good backstory because I had watched the WrestleMania Rewind show. Unlike a lot of the shows that I watch today, I actually just review the show that I watched itself and put that review up on YouTube for you guys. But I'm doing this one. It's a past review mainly because of the fact of tonight on the WWE Network they're doing a Floyd Mayweather versus the Big Show special, which I believe after watching this WrestleMania Rewind show and watching the commercial for the special that airs tonight, I think it's mainly just going to be, in lack of a better terms, a remix of the WrestleMania Rewind show with the same interviews, just sort of snipped into different corresponding things that go along with clips. But the WrestleMania Rewind show honestly was a very good special. I didn't really learn anything about Mayweather versus Big Show, but this is just a big attraction match that was very, very fun to watch. I remember at the time, I was not in love with professional wrestling at the time. I had come back to wrestling around WrestleMania 21, and I was somebody who just watched Raw week in and week out. Every once in a while, I would get a pay-per-view if something was really, really big and I really wanted to see it. But I remember the build-up of Big Show versus Mayweather and WrestleMania 24. I did want to see the Ric Flair retirement, but I thought the match was too... with Flair going into the Hall of Fame the night before, I thought it was going to be too predictable. But if I was going to order WrestleMania 24 that night, it would have been for Big Show versus Mayweather and almost nothing else. The WrestleMania 24 main events of Edge versus Undertaker, and for no matter how good that match was, and also the triple threat of John Cena, Randy Orton, and Triple H didn't really strike me as WrestleMania money that I needed to spend. I felt that if I just watched Monday Night Raw the next night, I'd be able to get the same thing for it. But when Floyd Mayweather, who was at the time one of the biggest stars in professional boxing, he was 39-0. He had just come off beating De La Hoya the previous year before to become I believe the light heavyweight champion. That fight, as well as with the I believe it was HBO shows that went along building up that fight, set the world record for pay-per-views, and I believe that was one of the reasons why WWE wanted to bring Floyd Mayweather in. Floyd Mayweather is a guy that, as in Triple H's own words, people don't come to see Floyd Mayweather box. They go to these fights and they order these fights on pay-per-view because they believe this is the fight that Floyd Mayweather is actually going to get knocked out. He's been on top of the boxing world for well over 10 years or close to that, and he's been running his mouth ever since day one being there about being the best and having the most money, and he's just created this outlandish character that if he was involved with WWE, he would be one of the most hated wrestlers of all time. That's why Shane McMahon went out of his way. I believe the goal, as from listening to the Wrestling Observer Radio and Dave Meltzer talking about this match in the past, the past was actually to get Mayweather and De La Hoya involved at WrestleMania 24. Big Show was a part of the plans, but it was not supposed to be Mayweather versus Big Show. It was actually supposed to be some sort of a mixed tag that was going to have boxers and wrestlers involved, and try and find a way to get some money out of the boxing match to WrestleMania, whether it be Mayweather and a partner against De La Hoya and a partner. On the show itself, they say that the plans actually was going to be Mysterio and Batista going up against Mayweather and Big Show, where Mayweather and Big Show were actually going to be partners, but then as a part of, I believe they said, a European tour, Mysterio ended up tearing his bicep, and he was not able to wrestle at WrestleMania. Actually, he was a part of bringing Mayweather into WWE, though. They had a pay-per-view that was in Las Vegas, which was actually No Way Out. I believe this would be 2008, where it was Edge against Rey Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio had brought Floyd Mayweather and all of his entourage, I guess, in lack of a better word. They were all around your ringside, all sitting front row, and they were there to cheer on Rey Mysterio, who they were portrayed as sort of being best friends. And in the match, Edge took advantage of Mysterio due to his injury that they had sort of portrayed on television. They showed that the Mysterio had deep bruising on his bicep where he had torn it, and he wanted to have the match with Edge anyway. It was Mysterio doing one of his springboard jumps off of the top rope. He was met with the spear from Edge, and Edge was able to get the 1-2-3 and a pin after the match. Big Show, who had made his WWE return after leaving after his ECW run, where he did the match where he dropped the belt to Lashley, and the December to Dismember chamber match, Elimination Chamber, the ECW thing, one of the worst pay-per-views of all time. Hopefully you've never seen it. Hopefully you've never put yourself through that. But at that time, Big Show left wrestling. There was, lots of rumors out there that he was going to try and do professional boxing around this time, with Hulk Hogan being on the outs of WWE. Hulk Hogan was putting together a match where he was going to wrestle Jerry the King Lawler in Memphis and make a lot of money. WWE was sort of having a falling out with Hulk Hogan at this time. They said that Jerry the King Lawler would not be able to be a part of this show because they didn't want it to be filmed for a competing network, which was Hogan Knows Best, which was on VH1 at the time. So Big Show, being a fan and a friend of Hulk Hogan's the guy who actually got Big Show involved into wrestling. They pulled him in, and they put Big Show into that match. That was one of the few things that Big Show did during his time away. And then Vince McMahon was able to bring Big Show back into the fold. He comes in at No Way Out. He attacks Mysterio, for really no reason other than just to show off, his size. Big Show came in still a giant, weighing in at 450 pounds, a lot slimmer than we had seen him before. I believe he had started not really a vegan diet, but his wife, who is a chef on television, just was cooking better meals for him, and he was eating better. And Big Show had lost a lot of weight since the last time we had seen him. And as Big Show was beating up Mysterio inside of the ring, Floyd Mayweather, who Big Show was taunting throughout the whole thing, could take no more. Jumped to the barricade to get into the ring to have a face-to-face sort of confrontation with Big Show, where Big Show was saying that he couldn't do anything to him because of his size. Big Show actually got down on his knees, and Mayweather punched Big Show about 6 times right in the face, breaking his nose, to break kayfabe and talk about the way this was set up in the back, that Big Show told Mayweather that it was to get down so he could punch him, and it was Mayweather's job to punch Big Show, I guess you can say wrestling style. And the Big Show's thing was just make sure you don't break my nose. And you can see in super slow motion on the first punch that Mayweather delivers the Big Show, it just comes flying off of his face, and blood is going everywhere. Big Show jumps up and he starts chasing Mayweather to the back, and you can see Shane McMahon come out of the back, because I think people knew that what just happened was one of those moments in professional wrestling when wrestling, it may not be real, but what you just saw was real. Like that. There was no fake about that. There was no script. I think that everybody was trying to slow Big Show down. The moment they got to the back, it was Triple H that confronted Big Show and told him to stop, and actually took him to the back for the trainer to look at him and get all calmed down. Floyd Mayweather had already grabbed his bags and was trying to leave the arena, and Big Show and Triple H had to call Mayweather to come back and be able to have a moment where they congratulated each other about how everything was so cool about it. The build-up to WrestleMania 24 was honestly a very difficult one, and it was a little bit weird. There was one time I can remember them doing, Big Show was in Indiana where Monday Night Raw was, and he was doing a promo where he was actually interacting with Mayweather, who was actually on tape. And those things can either be really good or really bad, and it seemed like Mayweather was right there. I mean, it just like the way those synced up. Sometimes, a guy's delivering a promo and he goes off the script a little bit. Next thing you know, Because they've timed it for each person to talk for so long. The guy on tape just starts talking, and they're talking over each other, and it's just a clusterfuck about it. But they build up the fact of. They didn't talk about this on the WrestleMania Rewind, but I remember like it was yesterday. Big Show brought in a fighter that was supposed to be the same size as Mayweather as sort of a competition on Monday Night Raw, and Big Show beat the crap out of him. And then they had a weigh-in on Monday Night Raw where both guys got in the ring, professional boxing weigh-in style, and it was just, Floyd Mayweather was picked up by the Big Show and thrown out of the ring because the Big Show was trying to show dominance that this was his ring and he didn't deserve to be in there. But they had brought in professional wrestlers that really were job guys. And I remember Chris Masters being out there for one, not to pick on the guy, but I remember him as being one of the guys. And Floyd Mayweather was to get caught by all the wrestlers, and then Floyd Mayweather's entourage thought that the wrestlers were, not handling him the right way, and ended up being the shoot fight on the outside of Monday Night Raw, live on TV, and there was really nothing any of the announcers or the cameramen could do about it. When it came down to it, WrestleMania 24 in my mind is honestly one of the most perfectly shot WrestleManias of all time. Edge has one of my favorite WrestleMania intros of all time coming out, but just the way they built that huge sort of set, for the wrestlers to come out and have the fireworks going off behind. When Mayweather comes out, you got money flying out everywhere to the crowd, and people are going crazy. And when they get down to business inside of the ring, it's very cool the way this whole match was all planned out. You got Big Show. It's just the giant, overshadowing Mayweather. Mayweather loses traction on his punches because he's having to punch up, in the air. Instead of being able to throw, just constant speed punches, he has to basically jump like he's in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and he's trying to deliver the big punches that's going down. The fight, Mayweather quickly finds out is not going to be able to be a boxing match. Mayweather is showing, jumping onto the back of the Big Show, trying to choke the Big Show out, and the Big Show just starts dominating him. I know that, from somebody who was watching at the time and was not a, wrestling insider reading wrestling news or anything, I always thought that it was, Big Show was the heel and Mayweather was the baby face. But I guess from listening to The Observer, they say that they actually switched roles midway through there. And I really couldn't tell, from watching this match even tonight. I thought that the roles were reversed during the match, like maybe, Vince had called something into the referee and told him, because it's after Mayweather is just getting beat down by the Big Show, his whole entourage grabs Mayweather and starts taking him to the back, and Big Show's like, no, this fight ended in a countout, and he goes out and he goes and pulls Mayweather, brings him back into the ring, and the fight continues to the point when Mayweather's entourage, grabs a steel chair to break up the fight and starts hitting Big Show in the back, and then Big Show starts laying out the entourage, and at that point Mayweather picks up the steel chair and he starts hitting Big Show, knocking him down with it, and then he rips off his boxing glove, goes over to one of his members, his entourage, who's wearing this big, huge gold necklace with the brass knuckles on there as the sort of like the thing around his chest. Mayweather slips on the brass knuckles, gives the brass knucks right up to the side of Big Show. Big Show falls to the ground, knockout style. The referee starts counting to 10. Midway through, Big Show starts to get up to his knees, and then the weight is just too much. He topples over for the countout victory, and Mayweather beats Big Show versus TKO, and then Jim Ross starts just shouting about Mayweather being 40-0. And this was a big-time fight. I mean, Mayweather really delivered for the WWE. I know that Mayweather likes to say that WWE paid him $20 million for this fight. There's no way in the world that they were able to pay him that much. But somewhere, whatever money he got, he deserved. And I don't know where Big Show went from here. I can look real fast as I'm on at Backlash. Big Show would go on, and I don't even see him on here. Big Show defeated Great Khali, so I guess he really did fall after this match. But he really deserved to get lifted, and it was a great way to bring Big Show back into the WWE after being gone for almost a year. But fun stuff. I'll be looking forward to Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather on Saturday, and then also with Mayweather and Big Show being on the WWE Network tonight. Hopefully I'm not just watching the same thing again, but it was fun to watch today, right now.